All right, for dinner on Monday, we are back from our 8-day cruise and it's back to reality, sadly. So, since I don't have any fresh food in the house, I do have some things I can scrounge together for dinner. So, I had these steaks that were in the freezer. Actually, they were in my sister's freezer. They may even be filet mignon steaks, so they may be too good for this meal, but they're from last year in August, so I'm going to go ahead and use them. So I have them in the crock pot, and I have an onion that was in my refrigerator, so that stayed good while I was gone. So we're going to have steak and gravy, and I'm going to use cream and mushroom for the gravy. And I've got a can of green beans, so that will be our vegetable. And then I have 2 potatoes that I put in the refrigerator before I left, and so they are still good. So we'll have steak, gravy, mashed potatoes, and green beans. So that's what we are going to have for dinner tonight. I do plan on going to the grocery store to get some fresh stuff, but I don't know when that'll be because I'm doing laundry probably all day and just unpacking and trying to get readjusted back to back to reality and not vacation mode. So that's what we are planning for dinner tonight. Today is Wednesday, and I found this also in the bottom of my sister's freezer, and it is this cubed, what is this called? Beef chuck blade tenderized steak. It was only $3. There's 2 of them in here. So I'm going to put these in the crock pot. They're kind of like ground beef, so I'm not even sure what I'm going to do with them, but I'm going to put them in the crock pot with some onion, and I might make a small batch of chili in the crock pot. We'll see how they cook. I have them on low. I'm going to put some onion in them and leave them on low for 4 or 5 hours and see how they look and what I feel like having for dinner tonight. I got this red onion that's been in the refrigerator for a while, so I'm going to chop that up and put that in with the steak. Okay, so I put tomato sauce and I put some canned tomato in here because I was going to make Swiss steak, but the steaks, they just fell apart. So I don't know now if I'm just going to make soup or if I'm going to just make this and serve this over mashed potatoes and gravy. Not make gravy. Serve it over mashed potatoes and have vegetable with it. I mean, it would be fine like that, or I may just turn it into soup. I still don't know. But in the meantime, it's 4 o'clock and there's no time to turn it into soup. So I'm going to make some lasagna. So I have these frozen lasagnas. I've put them in a casserole dish with the rest of the tomato sauce and the tomatoes from this. And I'm going to put some more cheese on top and bake this in the oven, so we will have lasagna for dinner tonight. Okay, I've got it figured out. I'm going to make some crock pot enchiladas. So I have these tortillas. They're old. They need to be used up. I've got some kind of seasoning mix here. I think it's fajita or taco. I've got some enchilada sauce. I got a whole bunch of cheeses that are open that need to be used up. So I'm going to put this in here and put some enchilada sauce, some seasoning mix, and some tortillas and some cheese and make crockpot enchiladas. It won't be ready tonight, but we'll have it. Now I'll put this in the refrigerator and we'll have dinner for the next couple of nights. I've also got the lasagna in the oven. Put a bunch of cheese on top and that extra sauce, so we'll probably have that for dinner tonight with a salad. And I've got some leftover crescent rolls I'll turn into like garlic crescent rolls. Okay, so it's actually chicken taco mix, and I sprinkled that in there. Now I'm going to put some enchilada sauce, and I can't layer it because it's already in there, so I'll put some tortillas under it and some cheese and do the best I can at making layers. I cut up the tortillas in half, and I put half of them in the sauce, and I squished them down in there. And then I'm going to put some cheese. I did put some cheese. I'm going to put some more on top. Then I'm going to put some more tortillas on top, and then I'll put more cheese on top. And I'll put the rest of the can of sauce also in. And hopefully it comes out good. All right, that looks pretty good. So we'll put the lid on and let that, probably just needs to warm up. It probably won't take more than an hour. I'm going to turn it on high. So we'll see how it turns out. Let's hope it turns out good. I got a lot of that cheese used up, so that was really good. Okay, so we are having lasagna, dill pickle salad, and garlic crescent rolls for dinner tonight. And the crock-pot enchiladas look really good. I will show them to you. They look and smell fantastic. So they're going to be a really good dinner tomorrow night and the night after that. So that's what we are having tonight. No, that wasn't what we were having tonight. Lasagna is what we're having tonight with our dill pickle salad and our garlic crescent roll and heart healthy red wine. So happy Wednesday. For dinner tonight, we have ravioli, bruschetta, and salad, and heart healthy red wine. So happy Thursday night, Bunko. For breakfast this morning, we're having 2 eggs, only half of a chicken patty because we're out of sausage. So we're going to use these Morningstar chicken patties for our breakfast meat. And sweet potato hash browns. This is the last of the sweet potatoes. These are left over from Thanksgiving, so they were just whole fresh potatoes, and they lasted a very long time. So this is the last one, and then we're done with those. And then we have some cinnamon toast with some homemade fig jam. Homemade fig jam right here. So hot, fresh black coffee. That's what we're having for breakfast on Friday morning. For dinner tonight, we are having dill pickle salad and stuffed crust supreme pizza. Yeah, this is what it is. DiGiorno Supreme stuffed crust pizza. This stuff is so good. The cheese in it that is stuffed in the crust with is really, really good. So that's what we're having for dinner tonight. For dinner tonight, it's daylight, so we are having ribs from Lucille's, greens, they're barbecue beans, fortified with my extra beans, and then I have some macaroni and cheese that is one of these Lean Cuisine macaroni and cheeses, but they're really good, and half of a biscuit because we're splitting a biscuit from Lucille's, and heart healthy red wine. So that's what we are having for dinner tonight. Happy Daylight Savings Time Sunday. For dinner tonight on Monday night, we are having tacos. These are the Old El Paso stand-up taco shells. I really like these. There's ground beef inside with some taco seasoning mix, lettuce, tomato, onion, and taco sauce and red wine vinaigrette dressing on top. We are having black beans and cilantro lime rice. That's the Rice-A-Roni box cilantro lime rice. It's really, really good. And we have all kinds of salsas and taco sauces and rooster sauces and sour cream and all kinds of stuff to go with our tacos. So that's what we're having for dinner tonight. Happy Monday. For dinner tonight, we are having corned beef and cabbage. I'm at Bunko, a green salad with a little bit of blue cheese dressing and a roll, and I am drinking water tonight. For dinner tonight, we're going to have Big Mac Sloppy Joes. So I've got some ground beef that I'm browning up. We'll have some of these quick cook French fries. After I brown up the ground beef, I'll put in chopped onions, Thousand Island dressing, and chopped pickles. And I'll put it on a bun with lettuce and more pickles and more onion and some cheese. And it smells just like a Big Mac and tastes like a Big Mac. And then we'll have these French fries, and I will get some canned vegetables also. So that's what we're having for dinner tonight. Let's get to cooking. And here it is, the Big Mac Sloppy Joe. We've got the Big Mac Sloppy Joe sauce, and there's pickles and onions extra and lettuce and then cheese on top, and it is very sloppy. And then we have the french fries and the green beans to go with it. So that's what we're having for dinner on Saturday night. So happy Big Mac Sloppy Joe Big Mac Saturday. Sloppy Joe Saturday. For lunch today, we are having this chicken teriyaki, but this is enough for 2 people because I cut up a bunch of onions, carrots, celery, cabbage, zucchini, and orange bell pepper and stir-fried that with some extra chicken, and then I added this and some orange sauce. So we have orange chicken teriyaki, and it smells and looks so good. So that's what we're having for lunch today. So that's a good way to stretch these Lean Cuisine meals into a meal for 2 people. Add a bunch of extra vegetables and a little bit of extra chicken, and you've got enough for 2. For dinner tonight, we are having corned beef, cabbage, red potato, carrots, and I made some Irish soda bread, and I do not have green beer. But we are having our St. Patrick's Day dinner, so happy St. Patrick's Day.
Burn bunny candles.
For dinner tonight on March 18th, we are having leftover corned beef and cabbage with red potato and carrots and some leftover Irish soda bread. So that's what we're having for dinner tonight. For dinner tonight, we are having leftover corned beef and cabbage. So this is my husband's. He's going to have this leftover. So I'm just warming it up in the skillet. And I'm having leftover Big Mac Sloppy Joe, green beans, and I am going to have some french fries. And then I have my buns, my burger buns for the Sloppy Joe in the toaster. And so that's what we are having for dinner tonight. Easy, quick, and leftovers. And here is the corned beef and cabbage. Sometimes my husband likes to eat out of the skillet, so instead of dirtying up a plate, he's going to get to eat out of the skillet tonight. And we've got the spicy brown mustard and the yellow mustard to go with it. And then here's my Big Mac Sloppy Joe and green beans and french fries. And so everything looks good and hot and fresh. You wouldn't even know it was leftovers. So happy Tuesday. For dinner tonight, I'm going to make tacos. So I've got my tortillas. I spread them with a little bit of oil. I have this lettuce that needs to be, as Mama would say, I need to pick over this lettuce and salvage what I can. I've got tomato, onion. I've got Mexican rice going in this pan. I'm going to heat up a can of these Taco Fiesta black beans. And I've got some shredded cheese. And for the filling of the tacos, I'm going to use these flame grilled chicken breast strips and sprinkle them with a little bit of taco seasoning mix and heat them up in a pan. So these are going to go in the oven at 350 until they get soft, and after they get soft, then I'm going to put them on these taco racks, and that makes them get nice and crispy. So let's get to cooking. All right, here we are, our 2 tacos, the Fiesta black beans, and the Mexican rice, and a chip to go with it. So that's what we are having for our dinner tonight. Tacos, rice, and beans. Happy Taco Wednesday. For dinner tonight, I'm going to make this. I'm going to use this as my base. I'm going to put this in the microwave and heat it up. And then I'm going to add some of this ravioli, put it in a big baking dish, and I'm going to add a bunch of these cheeses that need to be used up, some extra Alfredo. I'm also going to put some vegetables in it. I'm going to put some shredded carrot, some shredded zucchini, some finely diced celery, and some onion. And this I'm going to put in it, but I'm going to cook this in a pan and get it all cooked down, because it'll cook down to not very much, so that I will have a lot of extra vegetables in my ravioli pasta bake. I might put some of that diced chicken in it also. It needs to be used up. So let's get to cooking. I also have some cabbage too, so let's get to cooking. So I did pick through this half and half blend. As you can see, the date is March 15th. Today's March 21st. So I did pick through it. And yes, there were some slimy pieces that I picked out, but the rest of it was just fine. So we're going to cook it up. And it melts down or cooks down really fast. So we're just going to cook that in with the rest of our vegetables until it gets cooked down. And then I have some ravioli in the bottom, some Alfredo, some of the extra ravioli, and then we're going to start layering on cheese and more sauce and more ravioli and the vegetable mixture until we reach the top. And then we're going to put it in the oven at 350 for about 40 minutes, and dinner will be ready. Okay, I got everything layered in here, and I forgot to put the chicken in it. So I put all that vegetable mixture in it, and my husband said he wanted pesto also. So what I did was put a few spoonfuls of pesto in with the vegetable mixture and put that in. And so now I put the cheese on top, and I'm going to put it in the oven and cook it up. Okay, it came out really, really good. So I'm going to plate it up and we're going to have our dinner. And here is the ravioli casserole. I made garlic hot dog buns, and we are having Caesar salad also. So that is our dinner for Thursday night. Happy Thursday. We have our little bunny candle. So a very happy Thursday night. For dinner tonight on Friday, yay, Friday, we are having pizza. This is frozen DiGiorno pizza from Albertsons. It's DiGiorno, not delivery. And it was a really great deal. So it was $4.99 on the Pick 4. And then there was $2 off 2 digital coupons. And they both came off. So that made them $2.99 each, which is amazing. And so this one is the Supreme hand-tossed crust, and this one is Ultimate Pepperoni Rising Crust. And then we have a Caesar salad to go with it, so that's what we're having for dinner tonight. For dinner tonight on Saturday night, I'm having a skillet meal, so I'm having leftover casserole, leftover cabbage and carrots, and a glass of wine, and that's what I'm having for dinner tonight. For breakfast on Sunday morning, I made veggie omelets. So inside the omelet is mushrooms, spinach, tomato, onions, orange bell pepper, a little bit of feta cheese, and some reduced fat Mexican style blend cheese shredded. Also, I made hash browns and veggie sausage and a bowl of fruit. We have bananas, blueberries, strawberries, and blackberries, and hot fresh black coffee. So that's what we're having for Sunday morning breakfast. For dinner tonight, we are going to have Thankschicken in March. So I love Thanksgiving dinner with the turkey and the stuffing and the green beans and the cranberry sauce and the gravy. So I got this chicken for $5 from Ralph's, and they had a 50-cent Ibotta rebate, so I'm going to warm this up. I've got a box of stuffing that I'm going to use, and cranberry sauce and green beans, and I'm going to make some of this chicken gravy. So that's what we're going to have for dinner tonight. Let's get to cooking. Okay, we have our chicken that's warmed up. We've got our stuffing in here. We've got our chicken gravy in here and our green beans in here, and the cranberry sauce is on the table. So it's time to put it all together. It was pretty easy and quick dinner, and this is one of my favorites. And here it is, almost half eaten. So there's the chicken, the cranberry sauce, and the stuffing with the gravy, and then the green beans. And that's what we are having for dinner tonight. Thanks Chicken in March. Happy Sunday night. For dinner tonight, we are having the leftover ravioli pasta bake and sweet kale salad and a mangled garlic hot dog bun. So that's what we're having tonight. Happy Monday. For dinner tonight, we are having Lucille's Takeout. So we have baby back ribs, greens, and beans. And of course, I fortify my beans with extra beans. So I did put some pinto beans in the crock pot this morning, and they've been cooking all day. So that is what we are fortifying our beans with, and they're really, really good. For dinner tonight, we're having leftover chicken, stuffing, green beans, and cranberry sauce for dinner on Wednesday night. So happy Wednesday. Thanks Chicken Wednesday. For breakfast on Thursday morning, we are having a super loaded veggie omelet. There is a ton of vegetables in here. There's spinach, mushrooms, onions, zucchini and yellow squash, and tomato. And then I made some hash browns. We're having cinnamon toast. This is the Cinnabon Cinnaswirl bread that I toasted, and a veggie sausage, and good hot strong black coffee and orange slices. So that's what we're having for breakfast today. Happy Thursday. It's steamy hot. For dinner tonight on Thursday night, we are having barbecue salmon, long grain and wild rice, and steamed yellow squash and zucchini. So really excited because we haven't had salmon in a very long time. So thank you to my darling husband for barbecuing. Thank you so much, dear. Happy Thursday night. For dinner tonight, we are having tacos. So I've got my lettuce shredded. I've got onion and tomato. We've got cheese. I've got beans going. I made these in the crock pot 2 days ago. They're just pinto beans. I've got some diced chicken, and I've got some cilantro lime rice cooking up here. It's almost done. And I also have my taco shells in the oven, and they are crisping up. So that's what we're going to have for dinner tonight, tacos. Taco Friday. For dinner tonight on Friday, it's Friday, we are having tacos and the crockpot beans, cilantro lime rice, and heart healthy red wine. And we have all kinds of good sauces and accoutrements for our tacos. So happy Friday. For dinner tonight, we are at the Pretend Pub, and we are having fish and chips, only these are tater tots and not chips. And we are having some homemade coleslaw. This is just cabbage, carrots, mayo, and vinegar, and a tiny bit of sugar. And I didn't put salt and pepper. I need to put some salt and pepper on it. And then a frosty cold one, since we are at the Pretend Pub. So happy Saturday. For dinner tonight, we are having leftover Easter dinner. We have ham, scalloped potatoes, green beans, and crescent rolls, and heart healthy red wine, and our beautiful Easter candle. So happy Monday, leftover Monday. For dinner tonight, we're going to have fishless fish and chips. I really like these, even though they're fishless. They just taste really good. So we're having these. These are our chips, the McCain Quick Cook Tater Tots. So this should take about 15 or 20 minutes at 400 degrees. Instead of coleslaw, I'm going to do this dill pickle chopped salad kit. And because my steamer is dirty, normally I would have some steamed vegetables to go with it, but tonight I'm just going to do some of these Italian green beans. So that's what we are having for a quick, easy dinner tonight. And this dinner comes in around $10, which is kind of high, but for us it's kind of high. But if you can eat dinner for less than $10 a night, you're doing really good in 2024. So these are about $4. This was about $3. This was $2. Now usually I don't pay that much for it, but I was at Walmart and I had gift cards, so I got that. And then the tater tots, the portion size is 9, but there's 10 here for each of us. So they come in less than $1 when you're counting the portion size of them. So that makes everything around $10, which is a very good bargain for dinner. So that's what we're having tonight. Let's get to cooking. I've got the oven preheating to 400. It's at 300. That's close enough. We're going to put it in the oven. And here it is, fishless fish, tater tots, Italian green beans, and the dill pickle salad coleslaw type stuff. So there's our dinner. Quick and easy, took less than 20 minutes. For dinner tonight, I'm going to make fajitas. I have a green bell pepper and an orange one. I don't have a yellow one, so I'm going to use a yellow squash. I have an onion that I'm going to use. I'm going to use these chicken strips. But I also have half of an onion because we like a lot of onions. So I'm going to do 1.5 onions. I've got some brown rice cooking in this pan. So I put in 2/3 of a cup of brown rice, or any measurement, and then whatever measurement of brown rice I do double the water and a little tiny pat of butter. I turn it on low, I put the lid on it, and I let it cook for about 35 minutes, and it comes out pretty much perfect every time. So I've got my rice going, I've got my oven heating up, and then we're going to also have some black beans. So I'm going to chop up all the vegetables, or slice them up and put them on a sheet pan and put them in the oven to cook at about 385 for about the same amount of time, 35 minutes. And then I'm going to put the chicken strips in my skillet because they're already cooked, and I'll just warm them up. So let's get to cooking. And I'm using this as my favorite fajita seasoning mix, the McCormick. So let's get to cooking. Fajitas are out of the oven. They do get a little blackened, but they are good. And the chicken is done. The rice is fluffy and perfect. The black beans are warmed up, and the tortillas are being warmed up now in the skillet. So they're ready. It's time to eat. And it is ready. Fajitas, brown rice, black beans, and to go with our fajitas, I've got sour cream, salsa, and we're having heart healthy red wine. So that's what we are having for dinner tonight. Yummy fajitas.